Hello and welcome everyone to Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm your host, David Torres. This is a show about you, about your rights, your freedom. A different show. A show about big government versus little government. A show about your Second Amendment rights. A show about your freedom, your rights to vote. A show that involves how to keep yourself independent. Your rights to do what you feel is necessary for you and your family. This is what this show is all about. I hope you enjoy it. Freedom, not tyranny. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm David Torres. I'm your host for Freedom, Not Tyranny. And Danny, as everybody knows, is the producer and my right hand when it comes to Freedom, Not Tyranny. Without Danny, it would be virtually impossible to get all this done. Danny's the man. All right, first and foremost, I got to tell you, it's a little rainy and drizzling here and there since yesterday, but of course, Philadelphia Phillies are in the finals. They're in the World Series, and the Eagles are undefeated, all alone in the spot by themselves. And next week, I believe they play Pittsburgh. And let me see. Let's ask a nice little trivia question. Does anybody have any idea when was the last time Pittsburgh came to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles? I am going to say it was 1966 or 67, somewhere around there. I venture to say was the last time that Pittsburgh beat the Phillies at home. So let's figure this out. Undefeated. Only one in their standards in the entire NFL this year, playing Pittsburgh, who has never beat them in Philadelphia. Is that a challenge for Pittsburgh, or is it a challenge for the Phillies to keep that record going of being still at 0 losses and still sending Pittsburgh home for another, 10, 15 years? Waiting for a win. Did you look it up? What year it was, Danny? What was it? I believe, if my memory, I'm old, so you guys got to forgive me. And I got 1,000,001 things on my mind, especially my boy Jacob. Jacob and I have a big surprise for you guys, but I can't let it out the bag. Can't open up the book to the pages where it's going to tell you what kind of surprise it is. But Jacob and I have a nice little surprise for you. And just stick with us. I want you guys to guess if you can. And if you don't have a picture of Jacob, we will put one out by the time this episode is over. We're going to put a picture of Jacob up so you guys can figure it out and know who Jacob is, the famous Jacob that we always talk about. Okay? All right, so let's move on. Let's see what's happening out here. Let's start with some local stuff. You know, it's 14 days away from election, Dan. 14 days away from election. Isn't that something? And with that 14 days, you like my music in the background? Oh, I lost it. Man, that was right. That was right on the money. 14 days away from election, and let's look at where Philly's at, because usually they clean it up and try to make it look good on election time, especially presented. But we got a guy running for governor, and we got a guy running for state rep, and we got a guy running for Congress, and we got another guy running for a couple of people for state rep. Now, you can imagine that that's all local issues, right? Right, Dan? Can we say local issues?
Yes, we can.
All local issues, right?
Supposedly.
and every one of them have somebody in its place, except for council people at large, I believe. But let's go through. Let's see how much they've done for the city. Did they clean it up, Danny? Let's see. Let's start with Kensington. You think they cleaned up Kensington? What do you think? I don't know. Oh, there's Kensington, and they got a bus out there. I wonder if that bus is picking up the homeless. Or is that a bus coming?
No, that's a SEPTA bus.
That's a SEPTA bus. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like they're cleaning much up over there.
Well, we got some more. You want to see some more?
We got more. We got more that they cleaned up another. Oh, they didn't clean up another area. There, I see tents. I see a lot of trash. I see more tents at the corner.
Let's get a closer shot.
Doesn't look like. Oh, there goes another part of Kensington. Nope. Doesn't look like, man, Maria, Quinones, Sanchez, Angel Cruz, and let me see. Who else can we talk about? The mayor, Kenny. Well, he don't give a shit because he's leaving anyway. This is his last term.
Yes, it is.
He's leaving the trash behind, as they say. Don't throw it, all pull it in the trash. And Governor Wolf, there goes another spot at Kensington. Man, look at that. They're either homeless or waiting for the bar to open. Which one do you think it is?
Well, actually, that bar hasn't opened in a while, so I would say they're homeless, waiting for drugs.
Homeless waiting for drugs because the bar ain't open. Okay. So, well, it doesn't look like they're doing much politically to clean up our city. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And you know what's worst about it?
What's that?
Every one of them names I mentioned, except for Tom Wolf and Kenny, all them people are going to be running again in one way or another.
Yeah.
Either for city council or Congress or state rep. You know who does good in this community?
Who's that?
Danielo Burgos. Let me tell you something. And I don't have a lot to say about a lot of people, but Burgos actually cares. In my book. Out of everybody out there, I could take Burgos out. Because he actually cares.
And we need people that care.
You know? And I've never heard Burgos ask, people who he's giving stuff to or helping with, are they all Democrats or are they all Republicans? Because that's the biggest cup of. Yeah, as soon as somebody says, well, are they Democrats or Republicans? I say, you know what? I can't say it on air because I don't want to get in trouble. But you suck. Because when you hit office, you're not supposed to represent just the party you're with. You voted, you got voted, you won, and people from both sides might have crossed over to help you win because they believed in you. So you're in that office to support everybody because homeless people, drug addicted, families in crisis, crime, economy. Because you're a Democratic leader doesn't mean that all these issues only affect the Republicans because you're a Democrat. And if you're a Republican and you don't help the everybody, it doesn't, like these, the economy, the crime, the murders, the going after the police officers, price of gasoline. The only one that none of this affects is city council, state reps, Congress, senators, Washington, D.C., every clown over there, and, of course, the biggest clown of them all, Biden. Because for Biden to get advice about the economy, he's got to be sitting in his dining room, and his wife's girlfriend comes over and tells him how much hamburger has gone up.
What do you think is the logic, though?
The logic because he that's where he goes to get his economical advice. His wife's girlfriend across the street.
But he's seeing the numbers. He's seeing the rates soar higher and higher, especially now and he still continues doing what he's doing.
Dude, the man shakes hands with the spirits and ghosts. Okay? He gets up and his wife's got to tell him which direction to walk after a speech. What do you expect from him? You know, he sits there eating ice cream, but doesn't realize how the cost of that ice cream is, and what the owner of that ice cream shop is going through, how the eggs have gone up, how milk has gone up, how the making of the cones have gone up. The man is not with it. He doesn't know what's going on. Okay? He doesn't know what's going on. He's a puppet. He's a clown. You know, I mean, Biden is what we've got because that's what the people wanted, and if that's what you wanted, that's what you got. So now, when you're sitting there pumping gas, and your kid's education has gone to shit, and most of the stores can't reopen, and the economy is out, and China has control of us. You know, China has us by one nut, and Russia has us by the other nut, and between the two of them, they're controlling our economy. Because China is killing us with everything we owe them, and setting all the fentanyl, and supplying stuff going through Cuba. So China is got a private war going on with us that's killing a few thousand people in America a day. Our border is shit. And then on the other side of that economy dying and killing us is Russia, you know, with this war. Okay? And what do they got? Russia's got us spending shitloads of money. Instead of Biden just giving them what they need to get, he's got us spending a totally ridiculous amount of money. So that's what we got, gentlemen. We got a ridiculous president taking care of issues, and you want to say, why is that? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. But moving on. We all know that Philadelphia is no longer the city of bloody love. It's the city of bloody love. All right, so let's look at what's happening in the border that is so safe and so secure. We're going to do the border next?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's do the border and see what's happening here at the border. Because and in this year alone, they have caught terrorists on the terrorist watch list. It's hit 98.
The fiscal year.
The fiscal year, 98. In September, they stopped 20, I believe.
September 20 people alone. That's crazy.
Yep, coming across the border. Now, remember, those are the ones that they got to stop coming across the border. That's not the total number of terrorists they caught that's coming across the border. You know, they don't travel one alone.
No, of course.
So if they travel in three and you stopped one, two got across. So, you know, we could expect them to blow something up, but it ain't going to affect Biden because they don't want to blow up an ice cream shop.
But see, those numbers,
you know?
they look kind of innocent. Okay, 20 people throughout the whole year. But people don't understand the amount of people that are going through the border, do they?
No. We're in the millions of people going across, and over 1 million that crossed that we were able to stop. They know how many because they catch them on satellite stuff.
So
but
now that you said that, here's a picture of all the people that they have that are going through the border unnoticed through satellite.
This is at night. These are the people traveling at night, and a lot of them are people that they don't encounter. When they encounter, they catch a few of them, but at nighttime, a lot of them get to go through and they don't get caught. And it's in the hundreds. thousands of people that are crossing the border, and they're from all over the world. It's not Mexico. You know, people say, it's a Mexican border and a U.S. border. It's not Mexicans, man. It's Cubans. It's people from Haiti. I mean, people in Haiti are suffering.
Yes, there are.
They are suffering a situation that's ridiculous, and nobody's reporting what's going on in Haiti. The women getting raped, the food crisis, people dying, people jumping off of buildings because they can't eat anything. This border has got Chinese, you name it, Russian, Chinese, every country you could think of is coming across that border right now.
Yeah, they just travel to South America and they can just walk towards America because of the open door policy.
You know, I mean, it's almost like Biden has got, like, you know how Batman's got the bat signal? Well, Biden has got its own signal at the border, so they know they can follow the light and come across the border and be here for free. You know, you get across the border, you get free housing. If they don't have anywhere else, they stick you at a hotel.
And I think
you got room service.
Get free medical, and
free medical.
Benefits.
Oh yeah.
And in addition to that, they're going to be able to vote come time of election.
Yeah, they can vote. What they can't do is vote for the presidency. But in some states that they're going to, they're voting. For example, the Democrat know that some black votes and Hispanic votes are now switching over because they just can't deal with the issues and the stuff that the Democrat Party is doing. You know, so they're bringing in all these illegal immigrants, and in certain states now, these illegal immigrants, even though they're not citizens, wind up voting for state and city issues. It's a sickening thought. We're losing our Constitution, our rights, our freedoms, you know. And I understand that they're hurting and they want to come over, but there's a way. Somebody needs to put their foot down and finally give a policy. I have a policy and an idea of how to stop the border, but I'm one little voice. And the first thing is, don't be stupid and do what stupid always does. You know, listen, come up with an idea, but it doesn't, because in Washington, you know, Congress and the Senate, they don't do nothing, dude. No, you know, I'm telling you, if people really paid attention to what Congress and the Senate does and the way it passes bills and shit like that, they wouldn't be paying for all this. The American taxpayer is ripped off by this government every single day. All of us should be walking around like we're no longer virgins because we get screwed every single time. Let's go to a commercial, and when we come back, we'll be discussing a few more things about what's going on. See you in a few minutes.
Hey parents, kids like us have a problem, and it's one that you can help solve.
But most parents aren't even aware the problem exists.
Here's the issue. Most schools today aren't teaching young kids some really important concepts, like how the economy works, or what our rights are, or the definition of true laws.
Back before you were born, schools often taught the principles of a free society.
But not anymore. That's why our parents have us read
The
Tuttle Twins. These books teach children about economic and civic truths that we need to learn, and there's nothing else like them in the world.
Each book covers a different topic, helping us learn how the world really works.
For example, these books teach kids things like how the free market is the key to prosperity, the history of the money we use, what our rights are and why we should protect them, how kids can be entrepreneurs.
I definitely want to be my own boss someday, and these books will help.
Kids like us absolutely love these books. Maybe because they don't treat us like little children. Instead, they help us learn important ideas and develop critical thinking skills.
Chances are your kids are missing out on learning these things, especially in a way that's fun and enjoyable for the whole family.
And even better, when you buy this set, you also get the awesome activity workbooks for free.
Now listen, there are a lot of crazy ideas out there, and you need to prepare your kids.
Yeah, if you want to raise a free thinker, you're gonna need something that teaches about freedom.
So purchase your books now.
But be careful, your kids will learn ideas that many adults don't even understand.
It makes for some really interesting dinner conversations. Those kids are cute, but I bet yours are cuter.
And imagine how much they'll enjoy the books. So what are you waiting for? Click the link and grab your set.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm your host, David Torres, and the producer of all this show is Danny.
What's going on?
And Danny, say hi to the people, man.
Hey guys. Hi. Now you guys are able to hear me. I make sure myself is mic'd.
Danny works with me, and I love working with Danny. He's a great person to work with. And you'd be surprised how far we've come from the very beginning of when we first met. I mean, Danny didn't even have a beard when we first met. He couldn't grow one.
Yeah,
it
he
was-
stressed me out so much I grew a beard. No, but David's a great person to work with.
So, we enjoy it. We have a lot of fun, Danny and I, and we try to bring you issues that should affect you, but, and hopefully you're spreading the information. But in the next year, I think next year is going to be one pissed off a year for us as we approach the elections and all the idiotic, stupid things that both Republicans and Democrats are doing in Washington.
November 8th. November 8th is
November
election.
8th. November 8th is the big day. I mean, we've lost so much, and we should be able to gain our country back and stop the crazy spending and the behavior and turn around some of the things that this country has lost. Its respect, its ability to protect the community and the people.
How about morals? We have lost a lot
Morals, and speaking of morals, this educational system that's going on, they're not catching on because they'll sit there and they're making these issues so big about, say, like giving all the kids booster shots for COVID-19. First of all, the younger generation was the least
that was sick, yes.
that was sick.
Yeah.
They couldn't, unless they transmitted it, they really didn't get affected by it. But the powers that be want to spend money on this and hold it, and the school unions are dragging their feet because they don't want to do certain things. But the government is pushing, the shots, and it basically is it's a mirage, it's a cover. Like let everybody be worried about this while we're doing the other side of it.
So what is the other side of it?
And the other side of it is this a woke agenda.
Yes.
We just had an awoke agenda and I'm gonna tell you that's amazing when you have Muslims and Christians in one room fighting for their children.
Yeah, the same thing.
We got a clip on one of these things, right? This was a a teachers meeting, they literally had to shut the door down where so many people came. They hit more than their capacity. They wouldn't let anybody else in. This event, this meeting, wound up making history because it had so many Muslims and Christians, parents, in one room finding a topic that they had to fight for together. And that topic was their children.
That's crazy.
Yep. And if
I'll read
Danny
it from here.
gets a chance,
Yep.
let's have Danny read. These are some of the books that they have the audacity to pass. Now remember, they wanted to take certain books out, not to teach the history of America, and they want to take books out, and they don't want Cinderella, and they don't want all these books out there, but yet look at the books they're replacing them with. Give us a couple titles here.
So the first title is "This Book is Gay Teachers." The
This
second
book is
Gay Teachers.
Gay Teachers. Okay, the book is supposed to be all about gay teachers.
Correct.
Okay, this is what you're teaching your second, third, fourth, fifth graders, and getting them to understand about their ideology, their beliefs. Okay,
This one, the next one shocked me. And it says, "Porn is fine and fun."
yep. The title of the book, Porn is Fine and Fun. I don't know about you guys, but do you want your 9-year-old, 12-year-old, or 13-year-old, or someone in that area reading the book and seeing pictures of pornography where porn is fine and fun?
It doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't, you have scientists saying how pornography and it affects your body. It takes, certain nutrients from us. And here is a progression saying, hey, continue to do it.
Yeah. What's the next one?
This, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put a disclaimer. If you don't know what rimming is, the title of the book is Rimming, Licking the Bottom.
Okay, this is what they're getting into teaching your kids, our kids. That our kids are falling behind, and now they're putting this pornography in front of them, and it gets worse.
It does. Yes,
It
does.
gets worse. Some of these books. I mean, it goes on and on. What's the next one?
The next one is Scat, Eating Poop.
Yep. And the next one?
Golden showers, peeing on people is sexy.
Peeing on people is sexy.
Yes.
Yep.
Then you have
Wait,
boys
that's a far shot from putting Fruit Loops in the toilet and teaching a kid to aim for the Fruit Loops, right?
It's crazy. It's just, you can never imagine.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is boys on boy sex, girls on girl sex.
This was books. These are the books in the libraries of the schools. And these are books they're teaching the kids out of. In the library of the schools and teaching the kids out of. Now, you tell me one thing. You can't pray in school. You can't say, God bless you. You can't kneel down. They get upset for you kneeling down at a game, thanking God, but they can put all this pornography out. What I want to know, and I'm going to say this again, is how on God's earth you church leaders sleep at night. The Pope, the Vatican, the priests, leaders of the Pentecostal community, leaders of the Methodist community, leaders of the Seventh-day Adventists. You know, you are the fault for this happening. How many of you had even talked to people and told them how important it is to get the election going? How important it is for them to vote? This is why this is happening to us. This is why churches are being closed down and state stores are still open. If you don't know what a state store is a state or city liquor store. Okay? This is why they're staying open. When the pandemic is, the use of the pandemic, the excuse is they're closing your churches down. This is happening because you close your church doors down, and nowhere in the Bible does God say, close your church doors down. I have not read that anywhere. Danny, have you?
Doesn't exist.
Does it read it in your Bible? I mean,
Nope.
you know, maybe their Bible is different. What do you think?
Nope.
Maybe their Bible says, follow these rules, but not these?
Some people would like to think so, but nope,
Well,
same Bible.
I mean, I don't understand people. I don't understand, you know, you're not supposed to serve two gods. But if you're so hooked on that 501c, then you are serving God. And it's not the God of the Bible. It's not the God of heaven. It's not the God of creation.
But
You're serving the God, thy government.
But see, in their case, they want to remove God because they don't believe God. A lot of them are atheists or they're from other religions, and they don't believe in God. And because they don't believe in God, therefore, they want to remove God from the government and education and say that God does not have any say-so on what we teach our children. But they're playing themselves because at the end of the day, when you don't have morality or laws, you do whatever you want. And if today I feel like being like a fish, I'll be like a fish. And you have to know me and see me as a fish. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Doesn't
It's
make sense.
insane because the pastors in the churches have done such the pastors in the churches have done something horribly to the Christians in this country. The Muslims are trying hard to do what they have to do. But this country was found on religion and freedom, and it's gone. It's all being lost. They're taking your freedom away piece by piece, and you're not understanding.
Well, see, the thing is, when you're trying to make everybody happy, you will never make everybody happy.
Well, this is what's happening in education. This is what's happening. You know, if you look at it, I believe we have a survey of where our kids' education is going. Now,
Yeah,
keep in mind, they got these porno books in your school libraries, and you're the fault. You the parent, and you the pastors, and you the priests, and whatever you want. You're the stupid assholes that are the fault and the blame for what's happening. You are a hypocrite, a son of...
Don't say that.
You're a hypocrite hiding behind the Bible. Every one of you that have not stood on your pulpit and have not told people that it's not right to have abortions at 9 months, you're an hypocrite. David Torres right here is calling every one of you out that have not said what you're supposed to do and what your Christian values are supposed to be. You're a hypocrite. You're running a business, not a church. So don't ever come to me and tell me, are you a born-again Christian? Because I'm going to ask you, have you preached about abortions?
But see, that's the thing. In order to be a born again, right? That means you have decided to take the Bible itself and live by it. Not manipulate it, not use it for your own benefit, but
Right.
live by it. And a lot of people don't live by it.
No. It's a business. Most of these churches are businesses now. They're not out to save souls. They're out to get Cadillacs. They're out to get electric cars. They're out to have preachers with private jets. They're not out to save souls. It's a business. Most of these churches are business. You know, Pastor Maggie, I love her. She does not. It's God first.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not seen too many pastors like that.
The humanity. Actually, one of the things, especially in Judaism, that they pray is there's a prayer called the Aaronic benediction that was written in the Bible by God, and it says before you even pray that, you have to pray a prayer that says that you need to love the people before you pray that. If you don't love the people, then you cannot pray that. And you can find it in the Sanhedrin, in the writings of the Jewish people. You have to have love in order to serve.
How do you have a president of the country says that he's a devoted Catholic and they giving him his communion and everything else? How do you sell to the people? And how stupid can the people be that you're a devoted Catholic, but you're going to sign, the first thing you're going to sign, if you don't lose the House and the Senate, when you go in, the first thing you're going to sign is to legalize abortions at 9 months. But you're supposed to be a devoted Roman Catholic. And the church hears him with this and still acknowledges it. That's hypocrisy. Every church leader, everyone should be standing up saying, and you know my stand, I don't believe in abortion except for certain things. And it's none of my damn business. It's the business of the family. What we're supposed to do is take care of people. Make sure they have all the facilities they need.
Options.
Okay? Or every option they need, everything out there. But every church leader out there, you are so full of shit. You are. If you support what this president is selling, you sold out what your religion is. And you're a hypocrite. You're not a pastor. You're a business person. You might as well have opened up a McDonald's, because that's all you're running is a business. Taking money, not paying taxes, and you're running a business. It's a scam. With that said, my friends, I am leaving for the day. God bless you. If you didn't like what I said, or you want to ask your pastor, tell your pastor, any one of them have the balls to come on my station and challenge me on Freedom Not Tyranny about calling them a hypocrite, I welcome. I don't care what religious you are. If you think for 1 minute that you can change my mind, you come to me. But be prepared for me to take the Bible and smack your ass upside your head with it, because you're a hypocrite. I'm calling every pastor, minister out there who doesn't go against what's happening with this administration a big bullshitter and a hypocrite. And I challenge you to come to my radio show and prove me wrong in front of everybody on my podcast, because you are full of shit. Have a nice weekend. Hello and welcome everyone to Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm your host, David Torres. This is a show about you, about your rights, your freedom. A different show. A show about big government versus little government. A show about your Second Amendment rights. A show about your freedom, your rights to vote. A show that involves how to keep yourself independent. Your rights to do what you feel is necessary for you and your family. This is what this show is all about. I hope you enjoy it. Freedom, not tyranny.